Hey, do you remember the first time you started using WordPress? You made a conscious decision that you were not going to use some other infrastructure or platform because you didn't want to be just tied down to what they give you. You wanted the flexibility of using WordPress to satisfy yourself, your clients, or your business, but also the facility or the ability to use some third-party plugins, tools, and solutions. And this is what made WordPress the choice for me when I started working with websites a lot more seriously about 20 years ago. Sometimes just using WordPress on its own was not enough, and you had to look elsewhere. Like, I want to add in subscriptions. I want to do something a little bit funky. I'm now using a page builder, and maybe even that is not enough. And before you know it, your website's got like 40, 50 plugins loaded in. I've worked with clients where they want a makeover or they want a second opinion, and you log into their website and they've got 84 plugins. What? It's even worse when they're using a page builder. They've got the pro version, and even on top of that, they've gone and added in 10 more add-on plugins for that page builder. And it makes ludicrous sense as to why they've done that. Often it's because they don't understand what they can do with their current tools. But, sometimes you gotta go for a plugin. I've done it. I want to keep my website to as slim and lean and mean as possible. But if you need to do something a little bit extra, and you're not a hardcore coder and you're not entirely sure if it's going to work, you go onto Google or you go to the WordPress repository and you find a plugin and it ticks all the boxes. But how many times have you found a plugin probably does more than you actually needed it to? You might have purchased a premium one or downloaded something and there's 20 toggles and options for you, but you just wanted one little thing. Was it really worth adding in that entire plugin? Sometimes we do overdo it. When I first started using WordPress, I had websites that were well into the 30 plugin zone. Now I like to keep it down to 7 or 8 or less. And if we're going to do e-commerce, there may be a few more. But even then, I'm very mindful, and I want to ensure that every plugin deserves its place. Now, how can you reduce plugins on your website, especially when you really need that feature? Did you really need 20 other options loaded on in the back end? The answer is no. You don't want to overdo your back end. How many times have you had someone go, I looked at your website and the images loaded slow and I could see lots of JavaScript attacking and occurring on the screen? Does no one say that to you? Maybe it's just me then. And if you're one of those people that gets into the habit of continuously adding plugins, you keep adding one after another, on and on and on you go. And that's when you run the risk of conflict. You know what I mean, right? You got a page builder or you're using a WooCommerce tool, and then there's an add-on, and there's maybe 100 people are using it, or maybe 1 million people, and you kind of go, well, yeah, that's okay. Just because it works for some doesn't mean it will work for everyone. And when you have a website with lots of plugins, that's lots of updates, that's lots of vulnerabilities you got to be aware of, there will be some form of conflict. And when your website goes down,
I have a bad feeling about this.
So what's the solution to all of this? Well, one of them is that rather than using plugins, you go and hard code it into your theme. Well, I love to build websites, and I used to work for 20 years in the NHS as an information analyst, and I became head of the department, so I know what I'm doing. I love coding, but even then, I'm a little bit afraid of hard coding when it comes to websites, because it just takes one error and suddenly things go doolally all over the place. If you're ready to get dirty with the code and you're confident, go for it. There's nothing to stop you. But if you want to be a little bit careful, why don't you go and use a solution like Code Snippets? Now, Code Snippets is not the only plugin and solution out there for you to use. There are many others, but I have an affinity with Code Snippets because I know the developers, they're an amazing team, and it has never, ever failed me. And if you stick around, I am going to be sharing some of my favorite code snippets that we've generated to help reduce us using loads of other plugins. Look, code snippets you can get for free. I mean, what do I mean by code snippets? Let's go and address that. So it may be that you are going to go and create a bit of JavaScript. Could even be a bit of funky CSS HTML code as well. But it could be a function, something that is going to enable a widget or something in your website to do something that you can't just do with dropping in a button or something that's already available to you. Did you know that the majority of the WordPress plugins out there are built on code snippets, technically? There are some plugins, and I'm going to be very careful that I do not mention any by name. I respect every coder and developer and company out there. But there are some plugins that give you loads of features for WordPress. Toggle this on, toggle this off. Well, they're just code snippets in the back end. And that's what I love about code snippets, okay? You can drop in a bit of code and it stops me from having to mess around with a child theme. You want to get dirty with the code, go and do it. Mess around with the theme and drop in your functions. I get very nervous about that. But with code snippets, I can create individual snippets. I can go and drop them in one at a time. I can activate and deactivate what I want. I can go and grab codes from other people, copy and paste them in without ever touching my child theme. I also get to keep all of my codes in one place. It's easy to find, not just for me, but for the client as well. I've worked on websites where they've had a previous developer or someone else got involved, where they went and added in some code somewhere, and I cannot find where it is. I've gone through the theme. I've gone through the widget. I've gone through the custom CSS. Where is that code? And that is really annoying. But with code snippets, and like I said, there are other solutions out there, everything is in one place. It's easier to manage. And like I said, I'm going to share some codes for you, and I hope you go over to the Code Snippets website and go and have a search. Did I tell you it's free? Even for searching is free, and copy and pasting is free, and everything in life is free. That's actually a lie, because everything in life is not free. If you're worried about using code snippets on your website, go and create a staging site. Make sure you got a backup. Go and test it out. And if the code works and delivers, fine. If you don't want to have the code snippets plugin or any other tool, fine, deactivate it. But you know the code works. Go and add it to your theme. Go into the editor and drop it in. Like I said, I don't like doing that. But if you're okay with it, do it. The code snippet allows you to test things out. I know. When am I actually going to show you some snippets to help reduce your plugins? I'm getting there. But when it comes to collating or collecting them, go on to Google. Go onto the Code Snippets website. Go into forums. Do a bit of a search. You may be surprised at what you can find. I was, but I have to be honest. I also got a little bit frustrated that whenever you see a post that says the top 20, the top 30 snippets you need to have on your WordPress website, most of them were the same. And that got me annoyed. I started speaking to some of my friends. We opened up ChatGPT and we started prompting, hey, is there a code snippet to do X, Y, Z? When you start to hone in your prompting, eventually you get there. When they work, and believe me, they work. Oh my God, is it exhilarating? Because you did it. I did it. We did it. And when you share and let other people know that they can reduce the bloat or the cost of another extra plugin on their website, the kudos, the glory, the satisfaction. It's like the first time I drank Pepsi Max. So don't be afraid. If you want to experiment or you've seen a snippet or a bit of code that someone's written and it doesn't completely answer your question, go and pop open an AI tool and start experimenting. Sometimes you may have to resort going back to that plugin because it does a little bit more. Let's now talk about some of these snippets. Now, I was using third-party plugins when we started selling courses or having membership on our WordPress websites. And I've played around with many of them. I was using LMS plugins. I was using membership plugins. I was using plugins where you could actually restrict content until someone has purchased a WooCommerce product. These were all plugins. Some of them came with a premium cost if you wanted to do a whole lot extra. But at the end of the day, all I wanted to do was secure pages and content until you'd purchased a product. And that's when I went and created a snippet that does exactly that. I can tell this snippet to restrict access to certain pages or posts unless you purchase one or more or any of these products. And if you don't purchase it, and you try and accessing the page, you'll get sent to another URL. I've got full-on control over where I send you. But for different products, I can send you to different pages or just send you back to that specific product. Yeah, okay, it's not a full-blown LMS solution. I mean, it's not going to have fancy pages for doing your courses and all of that. But isn't that where you would throw in your innovative solutions and your creative mind to create it to work and look how you want? And that was with a simple code snippet. Here's another one. When you do variations in WooCommerce, a lot of page builders kind of give us like the drop-down box. So say you got 20 variations for colors or type of t-shirt, and there's a drop-down. Doesn't look so good. And a lot of us were resorting to third-party tools and plugins. Many of them are free. Hey, so you can't complain too much. But you're installing a plugin just to make your variations look a little bit fancier. We've now got a code snippet that allows us to stylize it with so much more individuality. And if our attribute variations are color-based, we can even add in color as a radio button that reduces the click. One of my buddies, Mark Harris, helped develop a code snippet where you could now have a CSS grid helper inside of your WordPress interface. So if you're working with CSS grids and you want to kind of have a particular layout, but you're not entirely sure about the CSS code for spanning columns and rows, we got a fancy little bit of code to help you out with that. And all you got to do is drop it into code snippets and it's there for you and it generates the CSS. Now that doesn't technically reduce a plugin, but it saves you having to now go onto Google and go, how do I do XYZ? This makes things more efficient for you. Now, this is my most favorite one. I'm talking about advanced custom field repeaters with Elementor. You create your repeater field, and then you try and show that repeater field on Elementor, one of your pages or posts or something you're building, and you can't do it. The facility's not there. So the solution is to go and use a third-party plugin. And that currently costs, at the time of recording, $69 per year. On forums, I always see this being popped in as the solution. You've got to use this plugin, $69 a year, and believe me, that plugin is brilliant. There's so much you can do with dynamic features with Elementor. However, if you just wanted to show repeater fields inside, you know, your single product or your single post or whatever, $69 a year is a little bit overkill. Well, that's why we've got a code snippet that now allows you to show your repeater fields in different styles and different formats inside of Elementor. Code snippet plugin, free. Code snippet, free. Drop it into your website. Dun 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 dun. Dun dun. Maybe you want to add delivery dates to your WooCommerce checkout. You know, so someone's ordering something, but you now want them to specify when they want to get it. Maybe it's time dependent, or maybe they're sending a cake through the post. You could save yourself using a plugin and just go and use a code snippet. There's even one to show the read time for your post. Let's say you got 1,000 posts. Some are short, some are very long. Or maybe you've got loads of authors and they're all writing posts. And you might have put in a custom field, read time, but maybe not everyone fills it in. Or maybe not everyone's entirely sure. I'm a really fast reader, so I'm going to say it takes 30 seconds to read. Or you got someone who likes to study every word before they move on. The wind. Which wind? My wind? Your wind? There's a code snippet that will now calculate based on an algorithm, and you can modify that and it will now fill it in for you. And you can now show that on your single post template. Something so small and easy to do with a code snippet. And if you know me and you're following our YouTube channel, Web Squadron, you know that I always go on about page speed optimization. I don't care what WordPress site or page builder you're using, there's always going to be a level of optimization that kicks in. And I've got code snippets regardless of your page builder that are going to help you out. And I know people love them. This saves me having to get premium optimization tools. There's nothing wrong with them. The developers, the coders, the businesses, the people, they are amazing. But if you're a bit tight for cash, or you just wanted to sort out this little issue, you can with a code snippet. How many times have I actually said the word code snippet? We'll have to go through the transcript and tally it up. When it comes to adding images to my WordPress website, I advise people to use bulk-resize-photos.com. It's free and easy to use, and I can bulk compress images into WebP. But did you know there's a code snippet that you could drop into your website? And whenever anyone drops in an image, it's going to convert it into WebP. Let's say you're running like a directory website, or maybe you've got loads of authors or a multi-vendor website. People don't often listen or pay attention to the instructions about WebP format. Well, now you can remove the worry and the cost of some premium tools by having a snippet that now converts everything into WebP.
What just happened?
If you go over to our YouTube channel, go to the Code Snippets playlist. I think I've got over 78 videos on there at the moment about useful snippets for you. But the final one I'm going to mention is infinity scroll on your WordPress media library. You know when you go to media library and you got 1,000 images? Why would you ever have 1,000 images on your website? You got a problem. But let's say you have. And you scroll down and it says load more, and then it goes to the second page, load more, and it goes to the next page, and you're trying to find a particular image because you can't remember what the title is. But what about infinity scroll? So as you scroll down, it just loads them on and on and on. You can do that with a code snippet. When we're trying to solve one thing, we don't have to always load in a full-blown plugin and a suite of features because it was overkill. We didn't need to do that. And this is where a code snippets tool could help you out. You can go and generate your own. You can go and search Google. You can go to the Code Snippets website and do a search. You can go and watch my YouTube channel. You can sit on a hill and stare at the clouds. And when you're able to reduce the amount of plugins you've got on your WordPress website, it feels damn good. Use what you gotta use. Do what you gotta do. But if you can reduce and still get the same output that you desired, that is a big win. So have a look at what's out there. But I also want you to think above and beyond. WooCommerce subscriptions has a bit of a hefty price tag that you've got to pay each year. And there are other solutions as well. But if you end up using WooCommerce subscription plugin, could we get away from that with a code snippet? There's my challenge to anyone out there. Go and have a look. And if you're able to crack it, share, let the world know. Now, of course, you may not tick the box for every single feature and facility and benefit that you get from that particular plugin, but if you can just enable WooCommerce subscription and it fires off, regularly for clients or customers to renew, isn't that a good thing? And are there any other plugins that you have regularly been using, or that whenever someone has a problem, a bit like the ACF repeaters with Elementor that I mentioned, and everyone goes, use that, and no one cares about the cost because you got to use that, but you were able to generate a code snippet that removed the need? Come on, who wouldn't be happy with that? I'm going to end by saying you might not touch your current website because it's got legacy stuff and you're a bit worried about adapting it. I get that. But the next future website you build, go and install a Code Snippets plugin. Start looking at some of the snippets that you could use, and believe me, you will surprise yourself. Hey, I'm Imran from Web Squadron. I love you all.